Lawmakers advance a bill to make child support payments a requirement before birth.
I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money. I get the money. Bitch, give me what you got.
This is Wave News at 11. I'm John Bull. Senate Bill 110 still votes away from becoming law. But Wave News reporter Noelle Friel took a closer look at what this bill would do.
This bill would allow child support to be collected beginning from the moment of conception. Supporters of the bill argue it will help women in need of financial support during pregnancy, while critics see it as a way for pro-life lawmakers to push legislation giving a fetus the same rights as a person.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Welcome to Male Reality Lessons, where topics are reviewed and discussed as iron sharpens iron. On Male Reality Lessons today, we have a serious public service announcement. We know the family court system is typically stacked up against men in general, particularly those that are unmarried and are trying to support children they may have out of wedlock. Thus comes the curious case of today, where we are seeing that the politicians up in the hallowed halls of Congress are now attempting to pass a new law that will make men responsible for child support at the moment of conception. Now, this adds insult to injury, seeing that we already have a problem with proving paternity. We currently know that 1 out of 3 paternity cases that are even brought to the court for challenge are typically found not to be the child's father. That being said, now you're going to be on the hook to pay before you can even get a DNA test. Don't believe me? Check this out. Let's first examine how bad the child support system is today before we get into what's happening real time.
To pay child support for a baby that's not his.
Thomas tells us he wants to get Oklahoma's law changed in hopes of helping other men in the same situation. News on 6 crime reporter Lori Fulbright explains how the law works.
When Thomas's high school girlfriend got pregnant, he married her, and then 5 months later, she gave birth to a baby boy, and he believed he had a son. But as often happens with young marriages, theirs fell apart, and the boy was about 3 years old when Thomas decided to get a paternity test.
Comes back as 0%. I was in my office. I saw that. I should have expected it, but I didn't, and it hit me. And I was next to my coworker at that time, and I was telling her I was just shocked by how someone could do this to someone.
A judge ordered Thomas to take another DNA test. He did, same result. So at first, the judge ruled Thomas was off the hook financially, but then reversed that decision because Oklahoma law says men must question paternity within 2 years of the child's birth. Thomas says he has no reason to question it before he did, but because he missed that deadline, the judge ordered him to pay around $500 a month in child support.
What?
Plus nearly $15,000 in back
What?
plus interest, all for a child that's not his.
I
What?
was telling a lie. I wish this wasn't the truth, but it is. That's what makes it so crazy. And everyone I talk to about this, they can't believe where the court system's coming from.
Thomas wants lawmakers to change the law. He believes DNA matters regardless of when a man learns he's not the father of a child, especially if that man was lied to. But even if the law changes, it'll be too late for Thomas.
It's done. I mean, it's already done. That's the law.
If you're enjoying the video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Male Reality Lessons.
Unbelievable stories here in Detroit.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today, he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him, except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
But this time, he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris. And hope that we can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future.
Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get the system.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Now.
I'm almost homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work. My money is being threatened to be taken.
Carnell isn't just worried about how this is impacting him. He says the law needs to be changed. So when this happens, as it often does, other men don't become dad by default.
We can be defaulted into being a father of a child that is not ours. I don't understand that law, but it is a law in place.
In Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action.
But wait! There's more!
Kentucky lawmakers advance a bill to make child support payments a requirement before birth. This is Wave News at 11. I'm John Bull. Senate Bill 110 still votes away from becoming law, but Wave News reporter Noelle Friel took a closer look at what this bill would do.
This bill would allow child support to be collected beginning from the moment of conception. Supporters of the bill argue it will help women in need of financial support during pregnancy, while critics see it as a way for pro-life lawmakers to push legislation giving a fetus the same rights as a person. Senate Bill 110 would allow women to seek child support payments to cover the costs of pregnancy after a child is born. The mother would have up to 1 year after the birth to ask for the child support order.
That child is a human life, and the support obligation begins as soon as that life begins. And I think we ought to be able to go after that.
So listen to what he just said. They ought to be allowed to go after that. This is all a money grab. Forget about establishing quality families. Let's not put programs in place or emphasize that you should have a stable family to bring a child into this world. We're just about getting as much money as possible from someone, whether he's the father or not.
Senator Whitney Westerfield introduced the bill. He's pro-life and says that belief is what inspired him to introduce the legislation in Kentucky.
Even if you didn't believe life begins at conception, I don't think anybody can reasonably dispute that there are costs involved in being pregnant from the moment of conception.
Westerfield says the bill could require non-custodial parents to help cover the costs of pregnancy, including prenatal care and items purchased for the child before birth.
We wanted there to be a mechanism to look back to that moment of conception moving forward to cover those costs and expenses, so that the father has an opportunity, because he certainly has the duty to help cover that.
The bill passed out of the Senate Families and Children Committee unanimously Tuesday with bipartisan support.
That's a damn shame.
I will leave you with this. If you don't know by now, you better know. When it comes down to the government, they're going to get paid first. If you go out here willy-nilly impregnating women, and especially if you have something to lose, like a well-paying job or a very established business, you're going to pay regardless. To the point where you impregnate or presume to have impregnated a woman, you are going to pay. They are putting laws on the books day after day. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is, they're going to get their money. So, I'll leave it up to you. Move out in these streets with a lot of care and precaution, because you will ultimately pay the price. And that's literally and figuratively if a woman claims you to be the father. But I want to hear from you in the comments section. Give me your thoughts on this particular subject or any other subject you would like to discuss on Male Reality Lessons. As always, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good day.